Europe is losing ground. The decade ahead will not be gentle.
Geopolitics redefine supply chains.
Technologies disrupt certainties. Uncertainties discourage investments.
46 countries.
450 million potentials.
A common market. The best universities.
Vast resources.
Rule of law. Trust. It's all there. Use it. Back to business means stop complaining. Start taking matters in our own hands.
If Europe is to succeed again, then we are the ones to make it happen. Welcome to the European Economic Forum 2025.
Please welcome the President of Lucerne Dialogue, Marcel Stalder.
Dear Mr. Federal Councillor Ignazio Cassis, dear Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to the 2025 European Economic Forum organized by Lucerne Dialogue. Back to business. As a political neutral organization, it's our ambition, especially at times of social divides and bubbles, to cut through those bubbles and to build bridges. Build bridges between generations, build bridges between disciplines, build bridges between political positions, and build bridges between regions. It's also our ambition to provide a platform for fact-based debate and dialogue. And finally, it's our ambition to act as an orientation point for socio-economic questions around Switzerland and Europe. Europe has been challenged like never before over the last 60 to 70 years. And the problem of Europe is not China, is not the US, and from a long-term strategical perspective, I'm pretty convinced it's not Russia. The problem of Europe is us. We lack a vision, and without a vision, it's difficult to know where we go. We have taken for too long prosperity and peace as a given. We have turned away our focus from economic strengths, and the backbone of every superpower is economic strengths. And we have taken away our focus from competitiveness. Our focus was more and more well-being. Well-being, ladies and gentlemen, is not a strategy. It's at best a result. We destroyed productivity. A couple of decades ago, the average weekly work hour for the working population was over 40 hours. It came down to 37 hours, and today, I looked it up yesterday, it's around 25 hours. We missed the fourth industrial revolution. We all know that when you look at the top 10 most valuable companies globally, there is no European company left. We all know that. If you look at the top 20 most valuable company globally, there is not one European company left. But what surprises, if you look at the top 30 most valuable companies, it's no European company left. And if you look what are the top 5 most valuable companies of Europe, it's Louis Vuitton, Moet Hennessy, number 1. And if you go down, the next 5 is no technology company. So we are famous for luxury, champagne, and other aspects. We dismantled our arms, we are incapable to defend ourselves, and actually we threaten the access of reliable energy and resources. But, ladies and gentlemen, even though I call that a real crisis, I'm an optimist. When we look who drives innovation from an individual perspective, even in the US, many of those are European citizens. We just need to make sure they stay here and they make those innovations come to flourish here in Europe. And when we look at defense, Europe still spends more of defense budget than China. We just need to coordinate much better. And I'm still confident that in our veins there is still the blood of hard work and discipline. Switzerland. Switzerland has been famous for many years to be a role model or a good example for economic strength, social and political stability. Switzerland is on the same path to crisis as Europe, I'm absolutely convinced, with a little bit of delay, because also Switzerland is lacking a vision. And as we speak and as we sit here, we are about to threaten the success model Switzerland. Switzerland has been famous for our infrastructure, Thames being on time, high quality airlines. Jens Fehlinger is somewhere here in the room, the CEO of Swiss Airlines, just told me, thank you very much Jens for that the Zurich airport is the airport in Europe with the lowest operating hours. And you know what we are debating? How to further lower the operating hours. Switzerland is famous globally as a financial center. We used to have 4 international banks, we are back to 1. What do? We put in regulation that threatens that bank's competitiveness as if we would have 5 others. Manufacturing and defense technology. Switzerland had a very solid defense industry and an anchor for manufacturing in general. We put up regulations, export regulations, who is about to destroy this industry. Economic growth. Which industry is growing the most? No, it's not banking. No, it's not insurance. No, it's not pharma. It's the state. We're moving from private economy to state economy. We have been very famous, and it was an important anchor for our prosperity, that we have been in an environment of moderate tax. What are we debating at the moment? Higher tax. Very soon, Switzerland will be faced with one of the most important questions over the last decades. Do we want to continue with our tradition of an open and independent country? Do we want to continue our tradition of bilateral agreements or isolation? What hurts me most is not whether you're pro or contra around that question. What hurts me most is that we seem to lose the culture of debating with facts. We debate more and more with fake. I give you 2 examples. No, the US is not the most important trade partner of Switzerland. We all know that. It's Europe. And no, migration will not go up when we sign the bilateral agreements. I'm personally convinced that migration could go up if you're not signing the bilateral 3. And why is that? Look at UK. Brexit happened with the argument of migration. Yeah, Brexit happened, and what happened? That's when migration started to peak as a problem in the UK. And today, the biggest exodus of any group of population in the Western world is in UK. 16,000 millionaires just this year left UK. An economic disaster. But as I said before, I'm an optimist. Switzerland still is the world leader in innovation. Switzerland still is a very strong economy, but we need to go back to business. We need to refocus on our innovation and hard work and discipline. And no, we don't need to select between Europe and US. Let's do both. Let's do an agreement with Europe. Let's do an agreement, hopefully one day, with the US. Let's continue the free trade agreement with China, India, Indonesia. We are an independent, open country.
This is placeholder media that you'll see if you add a layout to an empty scene. You can go ahead and delete it.